You played with Terry Crews. What was T. Crews like, man?
I thought, and it just showed, Terry was one of the guys that showed me I didn't know what I was looking at.
Right.
But he was fun. He worked hard, and I say he really wanted the NFL.
Right.
He put in the time, he put in the effort, and I was really, I can say I was disappointed when Terry got let go because I thought with his size, his strength, and his speed, he would definitely make our team.
Right. The playoffs, you had a couple, your first playoff game, Detroit. 3 touchdowns, the game-winning touchdown. What do you remember about that game?
That I was trying to come out on the game-winning touchdown. I was trying to come out of the game because of my
that turf toe.
Turf toe. We ran flanker drive, and the guy fell on it. And Robert Brooks is standing from me to you, and I'm trying to tell him to come in the game. And Mike is telling Brett the play. 25, double square out.
Yep.
Mark Clayton. So we, as the receivers, made the decision that we're not going to switch sides.
Right.
What we're going to do is Ed West goes left. Mark, now as the X, you're the flanker, step off. 25. Kevin Scott standing right there. I know the safety's coming over the top, so it's 3 cloud. Brett takes his drop, looks at Mark Clayton. There is no one within 100 miles of Mark Clayton. No one. Brett could have underhanded the ball, and it would have been a catch, and Mark would have probably gotten to the 1. 3 cloud, corner squats, everybody rolls over, safety's right behind me. I'm running, I run to Kevin Scott kind of drifts. Well, our tight end, I think it was Ed West, pops wide open on the basic cross. And the safety that was supposed to be over the top jumps him. And Brett goes, it's the only time I've ever seen his eyes. I've caught a lot of deep balls from Brett, but usually, when you run a deep route, you look up.
Right.
So it was the only time, and it was almost like he was like, Clayton, no, I'm going to move. And he just let it go. Game, set, match, Tracy Austin.
The contract, you had some contract issue with the Packers. They promised you one thing, and then it didn't happen. You go through training camp, you do everything, and then the night before the first game.
Which is how it's supposed to be done. Yes. And I'll say this. Worked out well for me because after that season, I never played another down. So with those monies, I was able to secure most of my future because I got to increase my insurance, not knowing. I got to secure my family's future based on that decision of holding out of the first game. I was going to miss the first game, and I was going to do it, but it worked out.
Your final season, you have 94 catches, 1,119 yards. The 18th touchdown is still currently tied for the third most touchdowns in a single season. When
there's only one person happier, 2 people, than me, that my career ended. And that was the 2 specialists that said you should never play football again. They were happy. They were like, hey, based on what we see, you shouldn't play football again. I hopped off the table. I was like, okay, appreciate that information. And because remember, all I wanted to do was play.
Right.
I wasn't playing for a length of time or status or to be on someone's Mount Rushmore or be considered one of the great. I just wanted to play.
Right.
And I did that. And so when it was time for me to find something else to do, the American dream was you go to college and get your degree, and it allows you to compete with anyone for a position or a job. I had my degree, and I was like, I couldn't, once I get out of this neck brace, I'm going to be able to compete. And lo and behold, I ended up in TV. But in my career, my job ended the way it was supposed to, because I would probably be still trying to play if it didn't.
What do you remember? Because I remember watching the game, and I saw you blocking your former teammate, Brad Edwards, for the Falcons. And then you just collapsed.
What you didn't see being in Denver was I had been having episodes in 1989. My left side went numb.
Okay.
Just standing here talking to the guys at practice one day, left side went numb. In 1991, my right leg, left shoulder would just go numb. The end of 91, I could control my hand, but I had no feeling in it. So I started having symptoms. And then I started having a lot more my last season. Holding my head down, I could feel my spine vibrating. And when you hit your spine, it feels like you're on fire.
Right.
And I would be like, ooh, that burns. So I started having episodes, and I kind of had an idea what it was.
Right.
But you go, you still can do everything, so you keep doing it.
Lying on the field, you laid there for like 3 minutes, and I remember you telling me I was trying
to get up.
Yeah.
But I had no strength to get up. And then Andre Rison, one of my best friends, Andre Rison is talking to me, and he is making me laugh. So Andre and I'm laying on the field. I can move, but I can't control my movement.
Right.
But I'm laughing with this fool.
Right.
And then Brad comes over and he's like, Sterl, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just need to, because I'm trying to figure out
what's going on.
Why can't I can move, but why can't I get up?
Right.
And then all of a sudden the feeling came back and I was fine.
Right.
And I remember before that, I caught a touchdown pass on the right side. Well, the corner hits me and I turned my left ankle so bad that I tore the tape. And I used to get tape to my skin.
Right.
So when you tear that tape, that's severe.
Yeah.
And my ankle was about this big. And in hindsight, that was the signal for me to be like, shut it down.
Right.
But I'm like, no, retape it. Take that back up.
Right.
And we'll make it go again. And so I knew after that game that I probably was not going to play again.
But you played the following week because you go to Tampa.
Only because we needed to have a home playoff game.
Right.
And I told Mike, I said, hey, if you're going to get it to me, you better get it to me early. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be in this game.
Right.
And I had, this thing was about that big, and I don't practice all week.
Right.
And I ended up with, I don't know the particular numbers, but I
9
think
for $132 and 3 touchdowns. That was the last time you ever caught a pass in the NFL.
But I knew if you're going to get it to me, you better get it to me early because I don't know how long I'm going to be in this.
You re-injured the neck. When you I think Thomas Everett glazed you as he went by.
Didn't even, the thing is like I said, the episodes that I was having, I remember one night laying in bed and Luger, my rock, barked. And I jumped up and hit my spine and fell back and was like, what the? I could move, but I had no control over my movement.
Right.
So I had symptoms for like 9 weeks that was, leading up to this is it. Which made it easier for me because it wasn't like one hit, that's it. I had enough telltale signs that it was like, this is it.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before 2 something.